Imagine this, the final season of Stranger Things has already dropped for massive episodes, and somehow, the leaks that terrified fans for years weren't exaggerated, they were warnings. Because now that Volume 1 is out, we know one thing for sure, everything happening in Hawkins is far bigger, far darker, and far more personal than anyone expected. And if the first 4 episodes were just the setup, then whatever comes next is going to change the entire series forever. Hit like and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear will shift how you see every scene in Volume 1. Now that we've seen the beginning of the final season, one major theory is officially confirmed. Will Byers is the center of everything. The leaks suggesting that Will was connected to Vecna warranty rumors, they were the backbone of the story. Episode 4 made it clear that Will isn't just sensing Vecna, he is tied to his evolution. We now know Will was Vecna's earliest template, his first experiment, long before 11 ever fought him. This changes everything. It means the entire show has secretly been orbiting Will since Season 1, and the scariest part? The leaks say his connection will only get stronger. Another leak that now feels much more real is the one suggesting the Upside Down is evolving, not just expanding, evolving. Volume 1 shows the dimension reacting, growing, shifting in ways we've never seen before. The ground pulses, structures breathe, and the energy connecting Will and Vecna now feels like a living system. Leaks claim that the Upside Down is preparing itself for the next phase, something far more intentional. And based on what we've already seen, that theory doesn't feel impossible anymore. Max's storyline is another area where theories have changed. Before Volume 1, many believed Max was trapped in a psychic loop created by Vecna, but the first 4 episodes destroyed that theory and replaced it with something even darker. She isn't trapped, she's fading. Her existence inside that hospital room feels unstable, fragile, like a candle flickering inside a storm. And the doctors don't understand it. Her friends don't understand it, but Will, he feels it. And the leaks suggesting that Will, 11, and Max share a deeper psychic connection now feel much more grounded. One of the biggest surprises from the new episode is how much the government already knows. For years, fans theorized that the government was hiding information, but Volume 1 made it obvious. They're not just aware, they're terrified. Several leaked descriptions claiming the government had classified Upside Down contingency plans suddenly feel accurate. If the world is cracking, the government has known about those cracks longer than anyone in Hawkins. And that sets up a dangerous 3-way conflict: Vecna, the kids, and the people who want to control the truth. Now, before we move forward, here is something to keep your mind busy while we wait for Volume 2, the ebook 50 series to watch before you die. If you love deep mysteries, big twists, and worlds full of lore, this guide is packed with shows that hit the same emotional intensity as Stranger Things. It's the perfect companion while we wait for the final pieces of this story to drop. The purchase link will be pinned in the first comment of this video. But let's get back to the leaks, because after Volume 1, they only get scarier. Another major rumor that now has more weight is the idea that 11 is losing control of her powers not because she is weaker, but because reality itself is unstable. In the new episodes, her powers glitch, stutter, or surge unpredictably, which matches early leaks claiming that the boundaries between dimensions have shifted. If the rules of physics are breaking, then 11's powers, which rely on those rules, will break too. And that sets the stage for the biggest confrontation of her life. One of the strongest leaks gaining traction after Volume 1 is the idea that the fractures in Hawkins are not openings, they are warnings. Episode 4 showed us cracks that pulse like veins, almost alive, reacting to shifts in energy around them. Insiders claim this is the Upside Down trying to synchronize with the real world. Before these episodes were released, it sounded like a wild theory. Now, those visuals feel like proof. If Hawkins is being pulled toward a new state of existence, then every shake, every glitch, every distortion is part of Vecna's countdown. Another major update involves Vecna's rebuilding process, something heavily teased in the leaks and now hinted in the show. We saw flashes of his reconstruction, the shadows forming, the energy gathering, the sense that he's more organized and strategic than ever. Fans once believed Vecna was weakened, but Volume 1 confirmed the opposite. He's patient, he's calculating. And several leaks claim that his next evolution won't be physical, but dimensional, meaning he may not need a single form at all. A theory that's becoming harder to ignore is the one involving Mike's emotional role in the final season. Volume 1 gave us subtle clues, uncertainty, pressure, doubt, all things Vecna can exploit. Leaks suggest Mike will face a psychological attack later in the season, one designed to destabilize Eleven's confidence. And considering how much Eleven relies on emotional clarity to access her full power, this puts Mike in one of the most critical positions in the story. Another leak gaining momentum suggests that Hopper is close to discovering something monumental, something hidden beneath the town long before Hawkins' lab existed. Episode 4 hinted at deeper layers beneath the surface, old structures, unexplained tunnels, and connections that predate Brenner's experiments. Early leaks described a forgotten origin, a foundation for the Upside Down that no one saw coming. Now, after Volume 1, that sounds less like a rumor and more like a setup. And here is one of the heaviest leaks resurfacing after Volume 1, the idea that the Upside Down is rewriting memory itself. Volume 1 already showed scenes where characters question what they remember, hesitate mid-thought, or feel echoes of past moments that don't quite match the versions in their heads. According to leaks, this isn't nostalgia, it's interference. Vecna doesn't have to control people physically if he can adjust their memories from the inside out. Before we go deeper, this is a good moment to remind you to hit like and subscribe, because the next theories are the ones fans don't want to talk about. The ones that could define who survives and who doesn't. Now, let us talk about the leak that exploded after the release of Episode 4, the possibility of a betrayal. Not a villain takeover, not mind control. Something more subtle, a decision made by someone inside the group that destabilizes the plan and gives Vecna an opening. Insiders refuse to name which character, but clues in Volume 1 point to emotional fractures, guilt, resentment, fear, all things Vecna can magnify. And if this betrayal actually happens, it won't look like betrayal at all, it'll look like desperation. Another leak suggests that Eleven's powers will evolve based on environment, not emotion. This stands out because Volume 1 showed her powers glitching not when she was upset, but when the world around her distorted. Leaks now claim that her ability might adapt to the new laws forming between dimensions, meaning her powers could become more unpredictable or more explosive. Finally, the most unsettling theory still alive after Volume 1 is the claim that the final episodes will take place in a space between dimensions. Avoid that episode for hinted at through visual and sound cues. If this leak is true, then everything we've seen so far, the flickers, distortions, shadows moving where they shouldn't is only the surface of a much larger structure waiting to be revealed. One of the heaviest leaks resurfacing after the first 4 episodes is the possibility of a major sacrifice coming in the final chapters. Now that Volume 1 revealed how essential Will is to Vecna's plan, the theories have shifted dramatically. Early leaks claimed Eleven might face the ultimate choice, but new rumors suggest that Will may be forced into a decision no one can help him escape. Some insiders even suggest a moment where Will steps directly into the fracture, not as a prisoner, but as the only person capable of shutting Vecna out from the inside. Nothing in Volume 1 confirms this, but everything points toward it. Another frightening theory involves Vecna's new strategy. Since we now know he rebuilt himself in secret, several leaks claim that his next move doesn't involve physical destruction. It involves psychological takeover, subtle memory adjustments, emotional manipulation, rewriting the past to break the present, and Volume 1 already hinted at this. Moments where characters hesitate, doubt themselves, or feel echoes of memories that don't belong to them. If this continues, the final episodes might show entire groups turning against their own judgment, unable to trust even their own minds. As for Eleven, Leaks now suggest that her final evolution won't be about overpowering Vecna, it will be about stabilizing herself inside a collapsing reality. Her powers are tied to the laws of the world, and those laws are breaking. If the fractures continue to grow, her abilities might react in unpredictable ways. Volume 1 already teased this with flickering telekinesis and unstable energy surges. Some leaks claim that 11 will access a dimension between the worlds, a place even Vecna fears, and that the final showdown will begin there. But perhaps the most dramatic leak still alive after the first 4 episodes is the idea of dimension fusion, not just an invasion, a full merge. A world where the Upside Down doesn't replace Hawkins, it overlays it. Shadows living between walls, creatures walking inside reflections. Time bending like light through broken glass. The distortions we've seen so far may be only the first stage. And if the leak is true, the world of Stranger Things won't end in fire or collapse, but in transformation. Now let's talk about the theory everyone whispers about. Does someone betray the group? Volume 1 didn't confirm it, but it laid the emotional groundwork. Within the cast, we saw fear, doubt, guilt, perfect doors for Vecna to enter. The leak doesn't say who, it only says this betrayal won't look like a villainous act. It'll look like a moment of weakness that changes everything. And then there's the rumored ending. Insiders suggest that the final shot of episode 8 won't resolve anything. It will escalate everything. Supposedly, the last scene may show Hawkins in total silence. Until a single crack of red lightning splits the sky, proving that Vecna is not defeated. He is evolving. Everyone comes with a shadow attached. Before we close, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because as soon as Volume 2 and Volume 3 drop, we'll break down every clue, every reveal, and every theory leading into the final showdown. And if you love deep atmospheric series filled with mysteries and twists, check out the ebook 50 series to watch before you die. The purchase link will be pinned in the first comment. Grab it if you want more shows like this while we wait for the finale.